you know, I don't want to carry the conversation on, you know, for the next hour, but
Well,
I guess the question is that, you know, from what I've heard from Ms. Mesmer is that one, we don't have, you know, obviously there's a concern about parking. Two, we don't know about the, you know, we believe that the additional pool did help with past concerns about crowding. Will a non-resident increase that back to where it was again? So I know there's some obvious questions here and concerns. I think what we need to do is probably, you know, think about it, maybe come back to it.
Yeah, because I really am concerned about reinstituting a non-resident season pass. I actually am concerned about that.
Yeah, I would say
That's opening up a floodgate, but I'm not sure.
well, they have the daily non-resident passes now.
Right, I just wanted to make the trustees aware of what was going on, the mistake that had been made in the past, and just that there were some upset people, and just to communicate kind of what's going on. I'm not necessarily advocating that we just yet even open it up to a non-resident.
Right.
Maybe it's something that we look at from a crowding perspective. I mean, the pool is going to open May 29th, so, you know, look at parking, look at crowding, and it's something that we can address at some point in the future.
Before we leave the topic, I would like to inquire of Mr. McCarthy, to Mr. Cassidy's point about trying to handle this sort of thing on a case-by-case basis. And I'm going to guess that he is correct that we really can't do that.
I'd recommend against any of this without any research or anything else, but that's my gut reaction.
Yeah.
There's the initial question I had from Mr. McCarthy last week as well, and, you know, I mean, he obviously, you know, we could ask him to look into it deeper, but the initial feeling, which I could see that from being then, that getting ourselves into a situation.
No,
And one again, I agree with Ms. Hughes, the fact that, you know, it needs to be brought to attention just because we have some people there.
well,
At the same time,
yeah.
At the same time, we do have to also take consideration of the taxpayers that are paying for the pool, so that's our first priority. So we do need to understand, did the pool alleviate the crowding issue? You know, I think we need to take a look at that and maybe come back to this topic at another time.
No, I agree. I simply wanted to find a way that I could, if possible, to address the current concerns of some of the people who are out there right now.
We're non-residents.
Right. And I mean, I've been responding to them as positively as possible, but you know, it is a difficult thing, I think, for them to explain to their children.
Sure. Sure.
But I just wanted to make sure, as I reiterate, that, you know, we're not opening it up to non-residents, that was the wishes of the board. So I just wanted to make it known, you know, full disclosure of
Sure.
what we're doing.
When you say not opening up, you mean not
Or
opening
seasonal.
up?
Season passes.
Right.
Season
Yeah, keep
passes,
that.
yeah, absolutely. We welcome all the dailies that we can get and you know, open that up. And you know, that's the information that I've provided to them, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think we ought to
We'll monitor that situation.
take that up at a future meeting. Thank you, Ms. Yu. Mr. Quigley, anything else
That
under
is it.
the park report?
That is it for parks.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. You have before you, I believe, a permit application concerning, I guess that's Mulan Asian Bistro on Neverland Drive. They're making application for a permit, a liquor permit of class D1, D2, which I believe would be beer, wine, and prepackaged beverages both on and off premise. Is there any need to call for a, I guess the terminology here is, do we need to have a hearing on this?
I do not.
By consensus, gentlemen, yes, no?
No.
I would say no. Mr. Quigley? No? Let the record please show that by consensus, we're not requiring a hearing on this liquor license. Okay. All right, that moves us on to old business. We have before us a motion to establish compensation and benefits for permanent public employees on military leave pursuant to ORC 5923.05. Gentlemen, you all have a copy of said motion, resolution. Are there any questions? Okay. With that, I move the adoption of the following resolution. Whereas under ORC 5923.05, hereinafter RC 5923.05 or statute, certain statutorily defined permanent public employees employed by a political subdivision, such as Orange Township, are entitled to paid leave provided under the terms of Division A of the statute for a period of up to 1 month as that term is defined in the statute. And whereas pursuant to Division B of the statute, permanent public employees who are called or ordered to the uniformed services for a period of 1 month or longer in any calendar year are entitled to a leave of absence and to be paid during each monthly pay period thereafter, the lesser of A, the difference between the permanent public employee's gross monthly wage or salary as a permanent public employee and the sum of the permanent public employee's gross uniform pay and allowances received that month, or B, $500. And whereas pursuant to Division E of the statute, any political subdivision, including Orange Township, may elect to pay any of its permanent public employees who are called or ordered to the uniformed services for longer than 1 month for each calendar year, such statutorily required payments as provided in Division B of the statute, or such additional payments in addition to the statutorily required payments as may be authorized by the legislative authority of the political subdivision. And whereas the Board of Township Trustees of Orange Township, Delaware County, Ohio, desires to establish by resolution the amount of such additional payments authorized pursuant to Division E of the statute to be made to eligible permanent public employees for the time periods of January 1, 2005 through September 30th, 2009. And whereas the Board of Township Trustees of Orange Township, Delaware County, Ohio, furthermore desire to establish by this resolution to establish the amount of compensation and payments to be made to eligible permanent public employees of such statutorily required sums as set forth in Division B of the statute for the time period commencing October 1, 2009 forward. And whereas the Board of Township Trustees of Orange Township, Delaware County, Ohio, intends for the following resolutions to be retroactively applied as of the effective dates set forth therein, be it resolved that the Board of Township Trustees of Orange Township, Delaware County, Ohio, hereby establishes the following policy pursuant to Revised Code 5923.05 E for the time period of January 1, 2005 through September 30, 2009. That permanent public employees as defined by Revised Code 5923.05 of the Township who were entitled to leave under Division A of the statute and who were called or ordered to the uniformed services for a period longer than the statutorily defined 1 month period for each calendar year in which the employee performed services in the uniformed services as set forth in Revised Code 5923.05B were entitled to a continuing leave of absence for the period in excess of 1 month and were entitled to be paid during such monthly pay period of that leave of absence the total amount of the permanent public employee's gross monthly wages or salary that such individual was otherwise entitled to earn as a permanent